room open to trade stock and options using our technology. For those of you who are new, welcome. If this is your first live event, do me a favor, type in first. Always want to welcome new subscribers. This is my brief bio. Disclosures are very important. Please read them. Trading stock and options involve risk, not suitable for everyone. You must be aware of the risk and be willing to accept it in order to invest in current market conditions. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not registered with FINRA nor SEC. Trading decisions. All right. Trading psychology is important. It's important to have a pre-market routine, again, to review any news that can drive the market, to do with interest rates, whether it's Fed meeting minutes yesterday or initial claims today, that could drive the market. So I encourage you to have the pre-market routine, review the news, decide, usually you want to wait 15 minutes to see, how the market opens, and keep a journal of all your trades, whether you're doing day trading, short-term trading, or longer-term trading. Keep a journal of all the trades, write them down, and have a checklist. Before you enter the trade, have you, follow all your rules. What are some of the most important rules? Cash. I propose 30% of portfolio to be in cash. Market is overbought. I think it's still going to be a pattern of higher highs and higher lows, but you want to have a cash. If the market does pull back, like last time, 5%, 10%, you want to make sure that you do have cash to add to your positions. Number of positions and position size will determine the drawdown. Right, so those are very important checklists. Do I have, especially if you're new to trading, I would propose to only have 4 positions and maximum exposure of 2.5%. Right? I still think it makes sense to be long and short the market at the same time. I do a lot of spreads where I'm long and short. Right, it was bullish buys, but still have a long and short position. If you're not trading options, you can buy inverse ETFs. Right, or something that will, if the market sells off, pulls back, something that will rally, whether it's silver, whether it's inverse ETF, but those would be some of the rules. All right. All right, in terms of how do you determine 2.5%, let's look at the stock forecast toolbox. On neural network, you can see the same information on yellow tunnel, part of the aggressive power trader. The model runs every night and updates the data. So spiders. 528 is your support, 532 is your overhead resistance. Still bullish trend, but pattern of higher highs and higher lows. Russer, thank you. Cherry Blossom L. Mark, welcome back. Thank you for participating. And then in terms of the positioning, good morning, L. Mark. How are you? In terms of positioning, let's look at the position. So now I'm looking at high open interest, right? 0 days till expiration options. They have been very popular and they do drive the market, at least short term, providing support and resistance. So neural network sees 528 by 532. And in terms of positioning, let's look at spiders. And all of this data is prior to NVIDIA earnings announcement, right? This is as of close of yesterday. So obviously there is news in the market like NVIDIA earnings that can potentially push the market to the upside or to the downside. Then you would have a different that would impact these support and resistance levels. So 5 was 0 days to expiration. So that's your support. Model said 527, 528. So I agree, 525 is your major support. Overhead resistance today and tomorrow, highest picked is 535. So we're basically, the support is 525. Spiders is up. I mean, sorry, NVIDIA is up. NVIDIA positioning, right, yesterday in the morning session and in the closing bell session. Largest position was at 1,000, right? So at 1,000, one standard deviation was 1050. And this is where we are approaching right now. Yeah, so this got inverted, but we still have the biggest position at 1,000. The next spike is 1050, and then 1,100, right? 1050 and 1,100. So we are at about the middle of that strike, 1050, at 1020. So positioning is important, right? They did beat on the top line, bottom line. They gave a good forward guidance. Expectations make sense. So if somebody did do the butterfly, then that would be a profitable trade at this point. Any questions? Good morning, Faust, Mark, Bill. Good morning. How are you guys doing? All right, we have Larissa alone. If you welcome on YouTube, please hit subscribe button and like button. It would be greatly appreciated. Chuck, Ed, Faust, Harman, Lalit, Mario, Mark, Mason, Patrick, Robert, Ted, Thomas, Mamsidar, Bill. Mark, let's see. So let's see how so far it is up 1.5%. You do have a double bottom, right? But it's underperforming, under 50-day moving average. So usually I would, it did have a positive earnings kind of pullback, but it's not participating. So I would wait maybe to get above 50-day moving average. But the price pattern is weak for pellets here. Consider NVIDIA strong earnings. You want to maybe use Microsoft, right? If Microsoft is breaking out, that's another AI stock. Right, Dell. They also have to deliver, but it's definitely the chip stocks are moving the market. I think better charts, right? That you have a strong momentum. I mean, it depends what kind of trader you are. Some people like momentum trader; they want to trade with momentum. Some people are looking for these reversals. But you want to have a sign that it's, buyers are stepping in, like above average volume, a breakout. For now, there's no signs underperforming. I would wait. Robert, hello. Bob, present. Welcome from Miami Beach. Bob, I miss you. All right. So meanwhile, we do have also earnings. Let's look at the earnings from Medtronic. Down 3%. Right, so we do have, I did put on a trade, earnings power trader. So I did the iron condor. It was the idea that it's not going to drop below 77, right? Stay above 80 and 92, 94. Right now it's at 83. So it's, it's halfway through the distance. So let's see. I do want to close the puts. See if I can, for now, put the trade to close. For 5 cents. So idea of iron condor, I collected 20 cents, right, on $80 stock. So it's 20 basis points. Maximum risk is, well, here's 3. I mean, realistically, you can get to 78. So $2,000, that was the idea. 92, 94, 80, 78 wasn't very liquid, but you're probably not going to get to 70 cents. So maximum risk is $2, right? So if you can get 20 cents on $20, right, times 100. So if you can get $20 on $2,000 risk, that's sorry, $200, right? Sorry, I keep saying. So 100 shares times 2 is $200. If you can collect $20, I'm going to close. So it's 10%, right, for overnight risk. Obviously, you know, if Medtronic continues to deteriorate, then it could be a losing trade, but we'll see. For now, it's staying at 883. It did drop. NVIDIA is at 1031. So let's look at if you did participate yesterday. Let's see. I mean, it's $1,000 stock, so being off by 1 or 2% would be expensive. I decided to do a butterfly, right? I decided to do a butterfly. So the strike prices are $10.20, $10.50. So I did $10.20, $10.50, $10.80. You know, at this point, you would be up around $5. $5. So this is a good example. If you know, based on the calculation, 10.20, 10.50, 10.80. You know, I put on the trade, I think, for $2, right? And it's trading about $5 to $6 right now. And NVIDIA continues to grind higher. All right, any questions on NVIDIA earnings? Manage it or you close in position. All right, so Carol, you did do the NVIDIA butterfly. I mean, right now you can. I would just close it. You know, I mean, by the end of the day, you want to close it, and you can close it. I mean, it's a very liquid name, so I would close it as a butterfly. You know, if I mean, in terms of positioning, it could gravitate. I mean, next strike is 10.50. So the next biggest position is, well, 10.50, but then you do have a position at 1100. So we could see 1100 tomorrow, right? But the maximum price, but if it reaches 1100, right, then or 1080, then, you know, then it would not, you know, then you would not be making money. So right now it's right at that middle strike, 1050. So that's kind of the maximum profit. So, you know, ideally you want to close it, you know, my goal is to close it by end of the day, right? By end of the day. Let me look how much is it worth right now. If I do close it. So sell to close, buy to. So it's trading at $7 right now, $7.70. So, you know, I can close it for $7.70, right? So $7.50 if you close 1020, 1050, 1080. You know, or you can wait till the end of the day and see if it, you can get more. I'll put $10. See if I can close it for $10. So this is an example where, you know, you can still participate in the trade, right? We saw it ranged between, I think, $3 to $5, depending which strikes you're selecting. Right? The wider the butterfly, the more expensive it is. So that's why I didn't do 1,000. I did 1020. Any questions on NVIDIA? If it feels Robert. So active trader is JCI. So we do have, right, we do have other trade ideas. So short term, so it's 8:41, we're 15 minutes. So some of the trade ideas today is Lockheed Martin, JCI, and CB, right? CB was in the news, right? That large stake from Warren Buffett traded the support. I did close Regional Financial. So again, after the Fed meeting minutes, again, the rhetoric that it could be higher for longer, right? Potential. Some people are implying that potentially you can have a rate hike. I mean, that's kind of a tail risk, right? That's not the core scenario, but nonetheless, this is still. So I did close Regional Financial. Okay, we'll wait. So I did close Regional Financial. That's one of the trades. What else? Schwab's is under pressure. GE continues to rally. So General Electric looks like finding the bottom. NVO is up, trying to break out to new highs. Silver pullback, consolidating, right? Energy pullback, consolidating. Small caps remain weak, right? They're kind of failing to break out. Banks are under pressure. Spiders is so technology, right? Today, rotation into technology, right? So again, this trade value versus growth, that debate, right? That's kind of similar debate last year, but you know, today actually semiconductors are breaking out, right? Because of the NVIDIA earnings. All right, any other questions? Carol, thank you. Yeah, NVIDIA, I mean, I didn't do it in a trading block, I mean, in Tradespoon or Yellow Tunnel account because it's $1,000 stuff, right? If people mismanage it, it could be a large, you know. I mean, if you do butterfly, you know, the debit is the most you can lose. But still, I think we put on a trip debit for $4 or $3. So, you know, it's more than 2.5% for most of the accounts. But I'm glad, Carol, it worked out. How high is too high on NVIDIA? Well, the next level is 1100, right? So we are already at 1050, right? There was one big position at 1000. Next one is 1050, and it was negative, right? This was negative then on yesterday. Now it's turning into positive, kind of after the earnings. But that it could, if it escapes, if it reaches enough velocity, it could escape 1050, and then the largest position is 1100. So I would not be surprised that either this week or next week we're at 1100, right, on continuation. I'm not sure what can derail current market rally. Let's see, 845. Okay, so we're about to get flash services PMI and manufacturing PMI. Let's look at that. Let's see if it's moving the needle. List. Okay, so looks like manufacturing PMI came in better than expected, 15.9, expected 49. They're still hot, right? Manufacturing is expand better than expected. So now you have a big jump in interest rates, right? So this whole debate of higher for longer, everybody expected interest rate cuts, you know, never happened, and then we have pullback in August. You know, whether we're going to have a pullback in August or June, that remains to be seen. But 10-year yield is again above 50-day moving average. You do have this overhead resistance of 450. So as long as we're below 450, I don't think there's anything to be concerned about. But if we do jump above 450, then I think you could have pullback. Consumer sentiment. So next week we have to honor everybody who served in the war. So that's an important holiday, but we're off. So we're off. And then, well, we have Fed speakers this week and next week. I mean, GDP first revision, not sure. So yeah, so probably no macroeconomic data, no earnings, right? Next big is the inflation data, right? But then you have to wait for June for the inflation data. So right now, and you can see, you know, as soon as interest rates jump, you have value stocks pulling back, small caps pulling back. Anything that's interest rate sensitive, metals and miners, ARK Innovation, they're pulling back. So same trade as before. Okay. All right, so we do need to look at the Medtronic. See if it's finding some footing. Okay, so we'll see if it can find support around 82 level. NVIDIA is still grinding higher. So it's trading at $8 right now. All right, let's review other positions. So in terms of active trader, yes. So JCI was interest rate sensitive stocks. Now after 15 minutes, we have manufacturing data, we have services data. CB would be under pressure, and Lockheed Martin is not, but it's term, right? Especially if you don't have any exposure to semiconductors. After 15 minutes, let's see how Texas Instrument has been. So Texas Instruments looks like we're reversing on some of these trades. Let's look at the markets. So home builders. So we have continuation of yesterday's kind of a pullback after the Fed meeting minutes, kind of reiterating higher for longer. So now our home builders are below 50-day moving average. They're weak. Materials are testing 50-day moving average. China continues to consolidate, pulling back. VIX is still at 11 handle. Industrials are testing 50-day moving average. Consumer discretionary weak, right? How's Tesla doing? Don't see Tesla is weak. Consumer discretionary weak. Continues to underperform. Testing 200-day moving average. So you can see at least today the value or interest rate sensitive sectors are pulling back. QQQ is still up. Semiconductors leading the way. Dow Jones and value stocks are weak. Spiders is flat. Regional banks pulling back. Looks like a false breakout, right? We had a breakout here, and now it's retesting 50-day moving average. Airlines below 50-day moving average. Utilities are. So it looks like we have a meaningful pullback across everything but growth. Silver is pulling back again today. Talked about NEO, Schwab. Regional financials. So I did close regional financial. It was a good decision. So I'm out of the regional financial. All right, let's review the positions. It's 8:54. Now, so for now, I would wait, right? See, how market will react. If you do bullish short-term trading, I would just wait and see if anything changes. So Amazon, June position in Amazon, we had a double top in Amazon. Amazon is kind of gliding on the 50-day moving average, double top. I mean, still kind of ascending, so chart pattern looks good. Obviously, it's not participating in today's NVIDIA earnings. Let's look at NVIDIA. Okay, so I'm out of NVIDIA. I was able to close for $7.50. So if you did do 1020, 1050, 1080, PRL, yeah, so I would just close. Asama is back. Asama, welcome back. It's been a while. When Dr. Copper makes next day rally, it looks smaller copper company rally. Yeah, copper and commodities in general, we had vertical move up, right? They pulled back. So that makes sense. Whether it's copper, gold, and silver, it's at 50-day moving average. I would still be a buyer into pullbacks. I would still be a buyer into pullbacks on copper, silver. Close regional financial. Remove that. All right, let's look at other positions. So we talked about Amazon. So still bullish Amazon, FXI. Vertical move up, consolidating. Still a bullish pattern. Right, the breakout is at 27 level. Right, 27. So as long as we're above that level, above 50-day moving average, above 200-day moving average, still a very strong bullish price pattern in FXI. Hot PMI number. Yes, thank you, Bob. PMI numbers did come in hotter than expected. Robert just filled JCI for 320. All right, it looks like we do have a reversal, so we have to be careful and have a clear stop level. All right, so the idea not to risk more than $250. So if you did one contract, $3.20, then if it loses 50%, I would exit the position, because you do have kind of a lot of stocks are under, a lot of sectors, interest-sensitive sectors are under pressure, and even technology stocks are, except NVIDIA, not participating, right? So it's not pulling all the boats like it did last time. So ARC Innovation is down 2%. Schwab down 3%, sharp reversal in Schwab. Let's see Morgan Stanley. Yeah, so it looks like people are closing some of their winners. Goldman Sachs still holding on. Wells Fargo pulling back. JP Morgan pulling back. Tesla is weak. Yeah, so you have kind of everything is under pressure, right? Small caps, mid caps, Dow Jones, even the Magnificent Seven stocks are under pressure. And basically reigniting the debate, on interest rates. Right? And we're getting close to the 450 level. Right, we did broke the downtrend. Downtrend is broken, and it's still below this trend. So we'll see if interest rates can get above 450. All right, so that's FXI. Goldman Sachs, but we're still long Goldman Sachs. KRE is in July, so I have time. I have time to wait. Macy's, Iron Condor, waiting for it to expire. Let's see how's Medtronic doing. Okay, so it looks like it found stability at 82.48. Can close it for, let's see, 6 cents. It's actually getting close. Okay, so I close it for 7 cents. If you have time to watch, because it expires tomorrow. So if you do have time to watch, one way to do this is just to wait and see if this level is going to be broken, right? The low is 82, but it looks like it's stabilizing, and just watch the position. Otherwise, it's still profitable. Still profitable trade. I was able to capture 5%, right? 10 cents on $200, $10 on $200 investments. That's 5% overnight. So very popular strategy, right? Very popular strategy. You can collect 5%, 7%. On the flip side, a lot of people complain, well, 5-7%. If you have one trade where you're down, so $1, then it takes time to recover. it is something to consider. Every time you're doing these high probability trades, right, where you sell in the premium, you're right more often than not, but there's sometimes the trade will go against you. So you have to be careful which one you're selecting. So the idea of Medtronic had large put position, right? I think it was at 80. Not large, but relatively. But that's kind of where you had a lot of position at 80. Then it was 77.5. So somewhere between 77 and 80, it should hold, right? But there was not enough premium for 77.5 put, so I did the 80 put. So when you do see this setup, this is conservative, right? Volatility skews above 0.5. So that means people are buying puts, right? So this is majority of the people were buying puts and selling calls. So then it's well positioned, and probably these levels do hold. At 7 cents. In Medtronic, and I'm out in NVIDIA if you did the NVIDIA trade. I mean, today they're pulling back. The debate is going to continue between, interest rate hikes. When they're gonna start cutting rates. So short-term silver is overbought. Probably can pull back to 27. I would be a buyer at 27 on silver. Wells Fargo. Right, because the consensus is that inflation is still going to be trending down. Just nobody knows when, right? And after median minutes, there's some people think that rate hikes are still possible, right? So every time somebody says that they're still possible, even if it's low probability event, and the market is overbought, it's going to react. So Wells Fargo is pulling back, still bullish uptrend. I'm going to remain bullish on Wells Fargo. June position, so on option spread you have to be right on timing, and XLE is also pulling back, so I have to watch this support level in XLE. See if this level holds, because if it doesn't, then the next level is 88. So then I would probably want to close this position on XLE. All right, any questions? Any questions on positions? Any questions on NVIDIA and Medtronic? Yeah, Medtronic actually now you can close it for 3 cents. It looks like JCI is bouncing back. Nice trade, Robert. Hopefully it's going to recover more. Let's see what else is interesting. General Electric looks promising. On the down day, it's up, so that's good. Let's see, do we have General Electric? Goldman Sachs. Or NVO, let's look at NVO. I was actually planning to. Yeah, NVO looks like it's breaking out. It's trying to break out. power trader. Let's do dynamic power trader. It's Fargo. Let's add General Electric there too. All right, so General Electric. So I'm going to add small position to General Electric. That's been strong stock. There are several signals in the past few weeks. So it's on my radar. And let's see. We want to add it. So now it should appear on the dynamic power trader. Okay, so we have General Electric, and then we'll do the same trade in Profit Accelerator. Okay, so Profit Accelerator. Yes, now you have General Electric. So General Electric kind of still an uptrend. It's building this support around 157, where if it does drop to 50-day moving average, which is about, what is it, 8 points? 9 points. If it drops 9 points, you don't want to be down more than $100, right? So 100 divided by 10, roughly 10 shares, right? On $10,000 account, you invest 10 shares. 1% of your portfolio, and then you can make a decision whether you want to stay in the trade or exit the trade. So you can see it in both now, Profit Accelerator or in Elite Circle. Same thing, I would look for, on half of the shares, I would look for 1% profit. 163, that would be 164.50. And the remaining shares look for 2% profit, roughly $3, 165.90. So either it's going to get back above this uptrend, right? You can capture 1 to 2%, or it pulls back to either support line or 50-day moving average would be more conservative. You can use 158, with a 1% or 2% stop loss. I think it's, 5% is better, more conservative. This is more aggressive, but these are your two support lines, right? Let's look how GE positioned in terms of where people are buying. protection hedges. So this week and next week, this $162. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not. So 160. So you do have one supported 160. Much bigger is at 150. 50-day moving average. So it makes sense, right? 50-day moving average should hold at least into the next week. Into the next week, June. If you look at June, you do have, yeah, 160. You actually have pretty large position at 160. So it looks like 160 is well positioned right now for General Electric. So I would watch 160 level, and then I would watch 154. If you're down $250 at 158, then I would exit the position. If you're down only $100 at 158, then maybe you can think about whether you want to add or not. All right, Discord guys, thank you very much. You're awesome. Banks done like after FOMC meetings. Elmark, butterfly paid big time. 250% on that butterfly, Russell. All right. People are making money. That's good. That's why we're here. Okay, Russell, congratulations on NVIDIA Butterfly. Carol, congratulations on NVIDIA Butterfly. Elmark, what are your thoughts on Wells Fargo? I'm long Wells Fargo. Obviously, discussion of higher for longer is not good for the banks. So it is pulling back, but you can see the momentum hasn't changed. It's still in strong uptrend. And honestly, I don't anticipate it to be broken, unless Powell says something that, it changes his rhetoric. As long as Powell says the same thing, we're waiting, the economy is doing fine. At some point, we're going to cut. I think it's higher highs, higher lows. If Powell's going to change the tune and says, listen, there's no rate cuts this year, or there's a rate hike this year, well, then the game will change, right? But as of right now, don't fight the Fed. Right? If the Fed said they're going to cut the rates and the economy is doing fine, then you kind of ride along. Elmark Rosser, thank you for participating. I appreciate you guys are putting comments and participating. That will put a smiley face. Not a smiley face. Thumbs up. Yeah. Okay, but thank you. You guys can find all the trades as a recording. There's no broadcast, so on Discord, we'll see you on Tuesday. And go to webinar. Osama, good to be back. Thank you. AMD reverse GCI, $30 now. Thanks. Thank you, Robert. Until last night. Thanks, Vlad. Thank you, Robert. Biden will have a lot of pressure. All right, guys. Thank you very much and have a great day.